small thing, isn't it? On ship, you must have already knows that you have found that many things can be solved. It is a small problem. So always approach should be from the simple things then to the complicated thing. If simple things is okay. Then this is the lobe pump. Lobe pump and the pump, this gear pump is same. Only thing, the shape of the shape is like a lobe. That's why we call it lobe pump, and the capacity of lobe pump is higher than the gear pump because you can see the volume is transferring from this side to that side is larger in volume. But otherwise, it is same. It gets trapped into that lobe, and then it goes to the delivery side where the volume reduces and the delivery takes place. And low pump, another advantage is like they don't mesh together. Then how does it rotate? One is driven by the uh, prime mover, but other one, how does it rotate? There is a timing gear. What is timing gear? External timing gear. So the timing gear is like this shaft, which is coming out and which is driven by a prime mover, and where you have the lobe. This is one lobe, and another shaft which is having another lobe, which is driven. There is a fine clearance here. It is not actually meshed together, but there will be, for an example, there is a timing gear here. So you have, there is one gear here and there is another gear here. It is outside the casing. So when this prime mover is rotating, this lobe is rotating, this gear also is rotating. This is mounted on the same shaft. And this gear is driving this gear. And this gear is driving this lobe. Whereas the gear pump is like this. One gear is rotating the other gear. They are meshed together. Lobe pump, they don't mesh together. So there is a fine clearances. So there is no own out. It will not get owned out because it is not meshing together. This timing gear we do use for the screw pump also. So that if something goes wrong, this will be owned out and you can replace it, the gear. So there is no contact between the lobes. Then we have another pump which is the vane pump. Vane pump is, it is also a change of volume. How does the change in volume takes place? Suppose it is rotating in anticlockwise direction. You have the vane. So this is the suction. Why this is the suction? Because this volume was here. Now this vane, suppose it reaches here. Then what has happened? This volume has increased to this volume. As the volume increases, we know the pressure drops and the suction takes place. What happened to this side? This side volume was from here to here. Now the volume has reduced to this. The delivery takes place. So when it is in this position, because it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, this is the maximum suction. After that, this vane is moving towards this side. Volume on the right hand side is reducing and the delivery takes place. That is the vane pump work. So this is also another positive displacement pump. So this pump, positive displacement pump, which designed like the reciprocating pump, you need the non-return valve, whereas this rotary positive displacement pump, you don't need the non-return valves. And uh, like the rotary positive displacement pump, and you can have, that means this is self priming, so you can have it as a cargo pump also. As I told you, the depending on the cargo what you are will be carrying, uh, where the centrifugal pump is not suitable, then you use this rotary positive displacement pump. And there is no pulsation also, unlike the your reciprocating pump. There can be pulsation, but if it is double acting, that we can overcome that pulsation. Screw pump is another pump where it is self priming, the capacity is high. As I told you, there are product carrier, they do use the screw pump, and construction is simple and easy to maintain, because screw pump also can have the timing gear, so that screw does not mesh together, so there is no worn out, and timing gear can be replaced if gets worn out. So two or three screw, it is very closely close clearance is maintained, and they are in parallel shaft. So screw when it is turning, then if it is turning in a solid medium, then what will happen? The screw will move. If we don't allow the screw to move, then what will happen? The liquid, if it is rotating in a liquid will move from one end to the other end. That is the way, and it is the screw pump works like this. The screw pump, it enters from the this side, and then slowly it moves to the delivery side, and screw is designed such a way, as it moves towards from right to the left, the volume changes. The screw shape is such that the volume changes and the pressure increases and the delivery takes place. And screw, we are not allowing a screw to move, then the fluid has to move, because it is rotating in a fluid. So the cargo will move towards your delivery side, and as the volume reduces, as it moves to the delivery side, and it can be pressure will increase and the delivery takes place. It can be 2 screw, it can be 3 screw, and this capacity can be adjusted, like from where you take the tapping, the delivery, so the capacity can be changed. And this is like 3 screw. So this the sun, and you have the timing gear. There is a fine clearance is kept. It can be meshed together, as well as it can have the timing gear, so that there is. But when there is a timing gear, you are keeping a fine clearance between the screw. Then what will happen? The capacity will reduce, because there will be some leakage through the clearance. How will you overcome that? The speed of the pump is increased. As the speed of the pump is increased, the delivery capacity compensate. So always, if you have a timing gear, your pump speed is at higher speed, and the flow is smooth. There is no pulsation for the screw pump. There is no pulsation. The flow is very smooth, and it is of higher capacity. Many there are product carrier, they use this kind of pump. And there are oil tankers, like few oil tankers, they are equipped with the screw pumps, and it is positive displacement pump. It can be horizontal, it can be vertical, and the pump is in the pump room, and the prime mover is in the engine room. So it is basically small oil tankers. There is the product tankers. They do use like 20,000, 30,000 tonners. They use this kind of pump. And for the products, that's why product carrier, the screw pump are suitable. And the tankers with very high viscosity cargo, such as molasses, they use the screw pump, because molasses is very high viscosity cargo. The centrifugal pump cannot pump. Now there is something called the surging. What is surging? What is the problem? Suddenly, suppose you are discharging and your ESD, emergency shutdown, is been activated. The valve is shut immediately. Then what will happen? There will be a pressure surge. It means there will be, once the pressure is going and hitting the valve, then it will reflect on the opposite side, and then the pressure will increase very high. and that can rupture your valve, that can rupture your pipe. So that is the pressure surge. But to avoid the pressure surge, what is happening that you have the ESD. When ESD is operated, your valve will close, but it will take around 14 seconds. In 14 seconds, it will slowly close. If it closes immediately, then there will be a surge, and that can damage the system, piping system, valve, and all, it can damage. So, and it increases the surge pressure is become so high, it can damage the piping system. So it is like water hammering, like the steam pipe when you open, if water hammering, to avoid that, we crack open the steam so that all the water comes out. So it also affect the same thing, and water hammering, like it can damage the pipe, steam pipe. Similarly, it can damage the cargo piping system, because change in velocity of the flow in the system, because it is moving in forward direction, and suddenly it will reverse the direction and the pressure will increase. So sudden velocity change takes place and causes the operation of the valve and the pump. Suppose pump you stop immediately, that's why pump, the variable speed pump, slowly you reduce the speed and then stop. And also the expulsion of the air from the piping system. If there is any air in the system, because air being compressible, then what will happen? The pressure will increase at that point. With proper planning and design, effect of surge pressure can be minimized, because slowly open the valve. That's why the ESD, it is a timing is as per the mandatory requirement. So when you press, what is how you are activating the ESD? You just press a button. Once you press a button, everything is shut down. All cargo operation and the manifold valve will shut automatically. But it will take that time, what I said, that 14 seconds around, so that it will not have surge pressure. By that time, the pressure will get released. Then there can be bypass valve to the receiver tank. It means you have a valve, suppose, which will shut down during the ESD, and you have a bypass valve with a small pipe, so that the pressure can be released, and that goes going to the receiving tank. One of the tank it goes, so that the surge pressure cannot be accumulated at that point. So the pressure surge leading to excessive pressure stress, and particularly causes by the rapid expulsion of air. If you expel the air rapidly, then also it can happen, because the flow of the liquid will be very high and the pressure can be increased, and it can fail the pipe. And once the pipe failure takes place, then the pollution can happen, as well as the pump can get damaged, the instrumentation, if you have a sensor will get damaged, fittings and other system components, valve and all can be damaged. So the rapid closure of the valve can cause the your pressure surge. So there are three components, that is pressure on the surface of the liquid in the feed tank, in the tank with its alleged space open to the atmosphere. This pressure is that of the atmosphere, because on the liquid surface, if the pressure tank is open, then what will happen? The pressure will become the atmospheric pressure, and the liquid surface it will act. And the hydrostatic pressure at the point system in question, it means you have shut the closing of the rapid closure of the valve, there will be a hydrostatic pressure, and the pressure generated by the pump, because pump still running, and sudden closing of the valve causes the kinetic energy, because you are just closing the valve and pump is still pumping, so that kinetic energy will be produced, because it cannot move further, and the liquid is strained energy, and it by compression of the liquid, it means the what will happen, it gets compressed, and since the liquid is incompressible, the expansion will take place, the pipe wall will get expanded and it can get ruptured. That's why the rapid closure of the valves should not be there. It should be closing very slowly, so that this sudden conversion of the kinetic energy from the pressure energy will not happen. Then the strain energy is by compression. It happens. The fluid will get compressed, and fluid is incompressible. What will happen? The expansion of the pipe wall will take place, and such pressure, therefore, it damages the pumping system. So, abrupt change in rate of flow also can cause the surge pressure. That's the reason when you are increasing the flow rate of the pump, changing the flow rate of the pump, then slowly you change. It means you will see the chief mate will increase the RPM of the pump slowly. You will not RPM increase the RPM suddenly. Then there can be a surge pressure, because suddenly the flow rate will increase and there can be pressure difference, and there can be a surge pressure, and it can damage the system. Automatic shutdown valve closure, slamming valve of shore non-return valve. Shore means that there are non-return valve in the shore. Suppose it closes instantly due to the pressure difference. It is suddenly it closes, can also causes the surge pressure. Slamming shut of the butterfly valves. Butterfly valves is 90-degree. You turn, it closes. If you do it close quickly, there will be a surge pressure. Rapid closure of power operated valve. There are power operated valve. It can be electrical motor, it can be hydraulic. It operates from the control CCR. If it closes very quickly, then that's why when you are closing a tank valve, it should be very slowly, not instantly. Then also this can happen. So the pressure stress, when it happens and it gets excessive of the strength, then what will happen? The component will get damaged. That is the problem. It will get ruptured, leading to an expensive oil spill. Extensive oil spill can happen. Next is the tanker safety culture, because if you see this, the dry cargo vessel, those are working on dry cargo vessel and those are working in the tanker vessel, the safety consciousness, safety culture is more in tanker vessel than the dry cargo vessel, because you are carrying a dangerous cargo which needs required, you'll have to make the ship safe. So the safety concerns you need to, the tanker safety culture is more, and it is inbuilt. You'll see, you'll do certain things automatically. It become your habit, because you know what is the consequences, and automatically it become an habit for those are the tanker people. But safety culture should be everywhere, but more safety culture should be there in the tanker, because it is more dangerous. So the effective on board the ship, let's safety management culture, which is very important, and safety, it should be built in. Nobody should be taught. When you are going to do some work, it's automatically should come in your mind, is it safe to work in that environment? What you are going to do, is it safe, or certain necessary measures has to be taken to start the job, execute the job. You look around everything, and it comes automatically in your mind that is it safe, because you know what is the consequences if it is not safe and if the activities is done. So there has to be a toolbox talks. What is the advantage of toolbox talks? Olden days, there was no toolbox talks. It used to be order only. But ISM code has made it mandatory that there has to be toolbox talks because we found many problems those days. Then ISM code came. We have implemented ISM code. We have seen what are the changes, what are the benefits. There are wide benefits. So if you don't have toolbox talk, there are different nationalities you work on board. There are language barrier, cultural barrier you cannot overcome by giving an order. You need to talk to each other. Also, the person who is taking the final decision, he might miss out something. It's quite possible. Everybody is not equal. Then what will happen if you have a toolbox talks? Somebody has some doubt, he will assert, he will tell, and that person will will incorporate that thing if it is a valid thing. It happens many times, isn't it? The toolbox talk is important as well as who are those are going to carry out those activities. They should be clear about what they are supposed to do, what are the hazard is involved, because tanker everywhere is hazard. So you need to means everybody, especially those are working into that activities is carrying out, executing that. They should know what are the danger. Then what will happen? Their behavior will change. If they don't know, they will enter, they will do the job, and there may be some casualty. But if they know what is the danger, when they are performing those activities, they will keep that thing in mind. And they should be explained in the toolbox meeting if that happens, then what they should do so that they act correctly. So the toolbox meeting, there are language barrier in multinational crew. So in that case, how will you overcome? In toolbox meeting, you can confirm, yes, he has understood or not. If he does not understood, you can change in different communication channel. Suppose you give in writing so that he can read and he will not make any mistake. You make a checklist and give him like that. So there are ample advantage of having the toolbox meeting, and we overcame many things by using the toolbox meeting. Then regular management meeting, which you have on board the ship. Management meeting, you can discuss. There are any difficulties that you can overcome by doing the management meeting. If anything is noticed, which is a wrong practice, you can correct it. There are many times it happens that ship staff, they do the wrong practice, which is not correct, but it has been happening for many years. Everybody does that, but that's not the correct, you correct it. So the regular management meeting, when you talk together and then you find out many correction which can be corrected and ship becomes safe. Safety stand down, so that safety is one thing, as I told you, safety first and the must. Always stand for the safety. It means if it is a hazardous, unsafe, you'll have to take certain additional measures to make it safe to carry out that activities. Then regular drill. Why you use the drill? Why you do the drill? Like for an example, the enclosed space entry drill. It used to be every 3 months before. Then it was changed to every alternate month. Why? It has been found many loss of life had happened during the enclosed space entry. Then the IMO decided to increase the interval, reduce the time interval is reduced and the frequency is increased. Why you do the drill? Drill is something, if you do the drill, then you will be more, you'll be in a position, you'll be more trained to carry out that activities. If you don't do the drill, only on paper, if you read, then your performance will not be that high if you do the drill. In drill, you are doing the mock drill. Actual situation is not there. But you all know what all activities, your duties, what is to be done in the mock drill. And if you do again and again, then what will happen? You'll never forget. It will be in your memory and automatically it will be doing. When the actual situation comes, do you think during the drill, you have some performance? In actual situation, will you perform the same way? It will never, because it is not possible. It is the human nature, and it is the fact. When your actual situation, when you face that time, your performance standard will be 50%. And the drill is made such a way, that contingency plan, it is made such a way, knowing that your actual performance, when there will be an actual situation, the performance will be 50%, but still you can overcome that situation with that 50% performance. So regular drill is necessary. It becomes an habit. You don't make a mistake. Then in emergency situation, will you have time? There will not be any time. Time is always constrained during the emergency situation. Within short time, need to perform, your performance level will be high because of the drill, regular drill. So you actually performing that, but it is a mock drill, but actually you are performing that. Then the watch round. Watch round, why it is important? Because watch round, many things it does not give you in the alarm monitoring system. That gives you from the watch round. Suppose there is a leakage. Will it give the alarm monitoring system? No. During the watch round, you identify that there is a leakage. Suppose manifold, one manifold you are loading, other side it has to be blank. Somebody by mistake did not blank, and the valve is leaking. Oil will take from one side, other side it will go. Will you get an alarm? It will not give you an alarm unless you take the round and identify that. So round is very important. Watch round. You identify from your five senses. God has given us the five senses. With that senses, we must identify. So these are very, very important for the safety culture. Now tell me, is there any question? We'll stop it here for today, and tomorrow again we'll start at 8:15. So any question till now? So today, 3 in the Addis office, 1 in Bardar office, and Abel is from home, Yami is from home, Teresa is from home. Who is the Mr. Avi? 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you identify? Yami?
I can't, sir. All I know is Mr. AB here.
Yeah, that is display. But is he online or not? Because he's not speaking. So,
His microphone is off. Mute.
yeah, it is muted. So, let me see. Teresa is there, Mulune, Gatesu, Enoch, Brian from Addis, Yami is there, Barricade, Advasu is there, it may be Barricade. Barricade or Goyas, Gosai, Gosai was there in Addis office. Anybody from Addis office? Just tell me, last time, yesterday Gosai was there in the Addis office, correct? Or no?
Yes.
Okay, Gosai, but he was not. Yeah, but Gosai was not. But who is this AB? Anyway, if you can find out from any of you, just text me, send me an email. Who is this AB is attending? But he is that. He is Bereket. No, still it is Mr. AB. So okay, so we'll close it. We'll confirm tomorrow who was that, and we'll close it here for today. And tomorrow we'll start at 8:15. Okay.
Sí.